Welcome to Sniper Sundays. I hope you're all well. Hope you're having a great weekend and ready for a new week. Now, I put this up a little bit earlier today than normal. I've been analysing the markets today and looking ahead for the whole month of February. And to say I'm a little bit excited is probably a little bit of an understatement. This is why I'm just getting this out early for you guys to have as much time to review this before the market opens. I did say that January looked like it was going to be good, which it was. 10%, nice month. Not the most amazing. I mean, 10% is great, it's fantastic, but I want to be getting into 20% and above, which in February I think is going to happen. We could have done that in January. We were unfortunate with the Euro USD trade, that short trade that we took very early on in January, but took profit because of the news. And we also had the USD CAD trade that we took profit early on. And we've had a lot of break evens with the choppiness. But yeah, we could have been way more above 10%. But I said 10% is good, and I thought that January would be choppy. And I did say at the Sniper Sundays at the start of the year that at the end of January we should start seeing the swing trades come in. I've looked over the charts today, done my weekly analysis, and there is so much potential this coming week or the next couple of weeks. There's so many big trades coming that I cannot wait for the markets just to get for us to get these entries and hold some of these trades. There's some big trades coming, so I'm going to run over these now. So Euro USD, obviously not a perfect end to the month of January. We've done very well, very little loss during the first 3 weeks. Then we had a couple of losses at the end of last week. Just the market, strange market price action, and it's just the market getting into these levels where we're now getting prime areas for these big trades. So any small losses that we had last week, guys, do not worry, because the profits that are going to be coming over the next month or so are going to be big. So with that, these trades that we're going to be taking, we might have to have a little bit of a battle with the market this week, as there might be some consolidation zones, but where we're trying to get into these sniper entries, we might have a few break evens here and there, but we need to be on fingers on the button this week and on top of our game, because once we get these entries, we're literally going to step back and just let these play out for the next few weeks. So Euro USD here, I explained this a few times. We called the short right from the top on Sniper Sundays at the start of the year, and we come down to the weekly support level of 1.100. Now from here, big rejection last week. You can see on the weekly chart here, big rejection. Monthly, a big rejection on a monthly. So we are seeing a nice rejection up here and push up higher. So now what I'm expecting this week is, start of the week, I expect this bullishness to continue slightly. So we've had the A, B, C, and then we've hit our D retracement. Guys, for Fibonacci, what I've been explaining is look at the absolute accuracy of the fibs. You see here, we've got A here, A, B, C, and then look at that, how it's hit D, and then it's just pinged off and reversed. Now, I was looking for long entries here originally, but on Friday we actually got caught out with a short trade. Expected to see some more consolidation, but Friday's price action just blew out of the water. Then what we're looking at here now is on market open, expecting a little bit of a push up higher. I'm expecting the US dollar to continue its weakness ever so slightly. Let's go to the US dollar here, the dollar index. You see we've broken this level, the trend line, and we're coming down to this daily support level. So I expect this to perhaps continue this bearishness, big bearish day, to continue down a little bit lower, maybe even down to sort of this level. And then I expect a retracement back up. I expect some strength back up in the US dollar, and then possibly from there a bigger push down. So we're going to trend. We're going to see some trending. Euro USD here. So I'm expecting another little bit of a push up into sort of this region here. We've just completed one fib. We now take this new fib here, A, B, and you can see here we're coming up into this sort of C retracement level, A, B, C, and from here we could have another push down. Now I don't actually think that we're going to push all the way down to these levels. We may do, but I'm definitely expecting a push back down regardless. So what I'm expecting is a bit of weaker US dollar to open up the markets, and from there then I'm going to be looking at the US dollar to regain some of that lost ground. And that we saw at the start of the some of this lost ground last week. to push down and then regain some of that, push back up, and then possibly we'll have a short after that. So I will be looking for us to actually short this down. Looks very, very bullish at the moment with a bullish daily candle. But remember, guys, overall this is in a daily bearish trend. You can see here low, low, lower high, low, low, lower high, and I expect to come down and maybe try and make an equal low, low. But I'm definitely expecting some downside from around these areas. So I'll be watching out for this area this week. This isn't the big trade that I'm looking at. We're going to come to that in a minute. But these are what I'm expecting the market to do. So we're going to be looking at potentially taking that short trade back down, recoup that 1% that we lost last week, and then make more than that back, 1, 2, or even 3%. Euro GBP at this interesting level, we're going to be looking at here from market open. We're going to be watching this for possible long trades on this. We can see here on this daily, we've got 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. We're watching this level for a long time. This is also the 61.8% retracement level. The only thing is we may see the pound show a little bit more strength at the start of the week, and then from what I believe, we're going to see a sell-off on the pound, and we're going to see this push up. So I'm watching this level very, very closely. But again, this is one of the trades where I'm going to be looking at us taking an entry on this, and once we have our entry, we're going to move our stop loss to break even, and we're going to let this one run, and we're going to see lots and lots of profit on this one. So this is a swing trade coming up very, very soon. Euro AUD now. So we've had a big bullish week here, a big strong week, but we're coming back up to some critical levels at the moment. We just zoom right out here on the daily, on the weekly. Massive weekly fib on here. Just give an idea of what's been happening. We're coming up to a level here that we've been unable to break. You see this 50% fib just around this region, and we just highlight this sort of level here. You can see this has been a strong resistance level for quite some time. You've had resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and now we're coming back up. Big bullish week, but I still do not think that we're going to have enough to break through. Remember, this is an Aussie dollar pair. Aussie dollar is on its knees at the moment. It's at very important support level on a weekly, monthly, daily, and this is going to come into play here also with Euro AUD. Now I'm expecting a bounce from Aussie dollar. I'm expecting Aussie dollar strength to come back into the market, and with that, I believe we are still going to see this push back down. We're seeing a big bullish push up here at the moment. Often it's these big pushes up. We may have a week of consolidation next week, and then a big push down. But I'm still seeing from here, from this weekly push down here. We just zoom in a little bit more now. From this here, we've had a bearish push down on the weekly chart. We've been sort of ranging here for quite some time. We've had this big push up out of nowhere, tapping the 61, coming up to the 78%. On the weekly, as long as we stay below the 78%, I think there could be a very good sniper short trade on. And as remember, we're looking for Aussie dollar strength to come into the market. Euro AUD shorts are going to be a great trade. GBP AUD is going to be a great trade as well. So I'm watching out here very carefully. We are now at that 61.8% retracement. 78.6% retracement level. Watching this over the next few days. If we continue to fail to break above here, then we could be looking at a nice short trade, and a really nice trade down. So that's what's on my agenda for Euro AUD. Euro NZD, we've had a big push up here. Let me just clear this off a little bit. A big weakness on New Zealand dollar at the end of last week. I think we're just seeing a final push on Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar pairs, and then we got lots of New Zealand dollar and Aussie dollar news next week, so I'm going to show you in a minute. And what do we need to change the market, guys? Fundamentals. So we need fundamentals to drive the market and be the catalyst to actually get it moving. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar news next week. I think we're going to see that turnaround here. So we've seen the push up here. We can see here we're in a massive sell all the way down. We took this. We're still in this trade with a small percentage still running. That was a 1,000 pip trade. After 1,000 pips, we were looking for the trade back up. Unfortunately, we missed that because the market gapped open and never gave us a chance last week. But we can see here, we put a Fibonacci on this. where are we coming up to? We're at the 50% retracement level. Now, we could come up a little bit higher. We could even come up to 61.8% on this pair, which we're going to be watching. And I think we will, because we can see here we've had this daily bullishness. So remember the rocket ship sort of example I gave? We can't expect this to just ping off this level and come down. We have to expect a little bit of airborne sort of fizzling out here. And then once we go down, we might play around for a bit. But once we start moving down, boom, it's going to come down. So Euro AED, I think we're going to see a little bit more of an upside momentum and then a push down. So we could be looking for a very nice trade in here over the next coming week or so. Euro JPY, this pair has been sort of just at a stalemate for the past week, literally just at a consolidation zone. I do think we're going to see a push up higher on this pair. I think we're going to see a push up higher on Japanese yen pairs this week. You have to keep an eye out for the news, the external news like coronavirus and so on, that isn't on the economic calendar, but we'll look at that shortly. But here we can see we've had a big push down. I've had consolidation, just slowing down. Doji candle on Friday, really showing that the momentum of the bears has slowed down, that the bulls and the bears can't win, and they're just moving sideways. Now it's going to see, can the bulls take over? Starting to see signs of it, starting to see flashes of it here with pins to the downside. We got a nice little retracement here to the 50%. If we can get down to the 61.8 or back down to the bottom of this range, then we could be looking at a really nice long entry. But my bias is to the upside. I think we're going to see a nice little trade back up, a nice little retracement trade back up to this trend line at least, and possibly further. But I am watching out for possible Euro JPY longs. GBP USD, now pound pairs, very, very interesting. Big push on pound pairs at the end of last week. And what I just want to try and explain to you guys is, at the moment, let's just look at what pound has done over the previous sort of few weeks or few months. We saw a big push up when it came to the general election in the UK. We saw a big push up here, little pullback down, big push up here, and this was a big manipulative push, massive push up on the election. Brought it right up to 1.3500, where banks, institutions, hedge funds, they're all placing their big bets there, of their big short trades, and you can see the amount of selling pressure here pushed it all the way down. Not only just rejected a daily candle, but then it just crumbled the next day. Then we had a bit of a recovery, some profit taking, pushed back up to this level. Couldn't manage to break above 1.3250, push back down. At the moment, I do believe that this is just inducing long trades, bringing people back up to here before the big boys get in and take a new short trade from these levels here. I believe that pound from these levels is going to have a big push down, and we're going to see a nice push down all the way back down to around 1.2750. We put on a nice Fibonacci here. It lines up perfectly as well. You can see here we've tapped the 61.8% once already. We could come back up here to tap it again. If I just zoom in here, and then we can see here that the Fibonacci lines up perfectly with 1.2750, 500 pips away from where we're looking at taking an entry. So anywhere from the 61.8% to where current price is now, we're going to be looking at taking short trades. Again, I think that the US dollar is going to continue to weaken on market open slightly. Remember, US dollar here, so we want it to weaken slightly first. We're going to see a weaken slightly first, so for it to weaken, we're going to see Euro USD push up higher, and GBP USD, we're going to see another little push up higher as well. So once we come in and bang our heads on this 1.3250 level, this could be an absolute perfect place to take a short trade, and we trade this all the way back down, taking out these previous lows and coming down to this level. From here then we may actually see pound recover. We could see a big push back up, but that's way too far ahead. But I am looking at possible short trades from this level. So we're having a little breather. Price is pushing back up. If this is gonna be the second wave of short selling, so we've had this first wave here, and now we're having a bit of a retracement. The second wave comes in here. This could really take it down. We could really see some strong bearishness coming into the market and pushing this one down as we ride this down. GBP JPY, I think it's going to push up a little bit higher as well. Like I said, Euro JPY, I think we could see a bit of Japanese yen weakness at the start of the week. GBP JPY, I think is always going to be something similar. We were very unlucky with our trade last week. We had a nice long trade here, got stopped out at break even just before it actually moved up to the upside. So no loss. but unfortunately no win on that either. So I do see this coming up, third touch of this trend line. This would be very, very important for this pair to come and test this. I see a little push to the upside, and then again for GBP JPY, anywhere within this sort of region here, coming and tapping into that level. You can see resistance, 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 resistance. Coming up to this third touch, we might have a fake out to the upside, and bang, we could see a really nice push down. JPY, I can see some weakness happening, so we could push up slightly higher. We may even be able to come up to 145 and take out these previous highs here, spike to the upside, and then roll over. But we're going to monitor that one a little bit. But we have a good idea of what we're looking for. GBP AUD, guys. So GBP AUD, we had a little short trade on that last week. Stop loss at break even because the momentum was to the upside with the bulls. But here I've got the weekly chart. I'm expecting, just like the other Aussie dollar pairs I've just said, I'm expecting a reversal from these levels and Aussie dollar to actually start recovering from where it is and a big push up. And we see that, and we take a trade here with pound weakness and Aussie dollar strength. This could be a great trade. So what I'm looking out for here, guys, is we can see on the weekly, we've got A, B, coming up to the C retracement here, anywhere between here and this previous Y. I've got this highlighted. You see here, lower low, lower high, lower low, retrace all the way back up here. We're making a lower high. Remember, this is on the weekly chart. So it's the previous lower high on the weekly, and so now we're coming up into these regions. If we can reject here, stay below this level, reject the 61.8%, then this could be where this trend now ends, and then a big new bearish downtrend begins. Daily, we can see here, we often see this on in the market. This is putting fear in the market, guys. So anyone looking at taking short trades, this is why we always have stop loss at break even. Anyone looking at taking short trades, it puts fear into them by pushing up really, really strong, bringing in long traders here. Yes, we may see another little bit extension up higher, just to flush out any short traders, and then bang. I think once this starts falling, this is going to have a massive decline. Just like I explained on Aussie dollar Japanese yen trade, like I explained that once it gets going, the bears are going to step in and going to take this a lot lower. I think we're going to see the similar situation here with GBP AUD. So maybe another little touch up higher to early in the week, and then later in the week with the Aussie dollar news that's coming out, we're going to come back down. I'm looking to hold this trade for a long, long time once we get into that level. We can see here we could possibly come up to this significant level, 2.00. We could come up here, tap that level, institutional level, bank level, round figures that they love, significant psychological level, and from there then bang, we could die and drop all the way down. We may not even get that high, but that's a level that we may see this pair come up and reach. You can see here, nice resistance here. It popped up above it here. This is the last lower high on the weekly. Should we find some resistance here, this is a trade that we're going to be holding for a long, long time. If we can hold this, guys, I'm talking, I don't want to go too far, but with this we could come all the way back down to the bottom here. We could see a really, really, really long-term trade with Aussie dollar pairs. So we're talking hundreds and thousands of pips. Hundreds of pips and possibly thousands. I mean, not hundreds of thousands, but yeah, this is a big trade that's possible. So 2020, it's looking great in February, but we don't want to rush, because what we want to do is just wait for the right time to take these trades, and once we take them, we can just sit back and we can relax and let these ones play out. But 2020 is looking really, really, really good. USD JPY, I'll just zoom out here on the daily. Not been a fan of this pair the last couple of months or so. You can see here within the last couple of months, it's just been choppy between 10800 and 110, 200 pip range since back in October. So finally saw a break out this consolidation zone on Friday, come back down to this level here where we're going to find the third touch of the trend line. I think we're going to see a little bit of a US dollar weakness, as I said, to continue. So I'm expecting this to come down, maybe even hit 108 again, and then I'll be looking at Japanese yen weakening, a bit of US dollar strength. So initially some weakness from US dollar and then some strength, and then from there I'm expecting USD JPY, so from these areas, to push up. May look at taking this long trade keeping an eye on USD JPY at the moment. We're expecting a little push down, but we can expect a push up once we come down into sort of these regions, maybe just break below this trend line. Anywhere into here, could be looking at a nice little long trade, and all Japanese yen pairs just having a little bit of recovery. So Euro JPY pushing up to the upside, GBP JPY pushing a bit more up to the upside, and USD JPY pushing up more up to the upside. USD CAD, so I was just reviewing this pair. We were unlucky as well. We took profit off the table because of the news that came out early in January. Took about 1.5% profit. Did go on to have to turn out to be what could have been a magnificent trade, but it's part of trading. We took profit off the table because other times we could have just had, with the news that came out, we could have just seen the price move back against us, and we would have come out at break even and not taken anything. So no hard feelings about it, because it's great to see that the analysis is playing out once again. And when you know that your analysis is playing out time and time and time again, you just know that the next trade is around the corner. So as long as the analysis is correct, the trades are going to keep on coming. So at the moment, USD CAD, we're quite bullish here on the daily. So I don't think it's going to be time to turn around just yet. I will be monitoring around this area. We've got a nice little sort of rejection here, but I think it's too early. We're going to see some consolidation around this sort of area before. I think we may even see a nice another one more push up to the upside. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on USD CAD as it's coming into this level. Now we're going to see Aussie dollar gain strength. We should expect USD CAD to push back down as well. But yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on this one at the moment and just see how this plays out this week. Now, coming to the top of my list, top of our watch list for this week, Aussie dollar pairs. Aussie dollar and gold, oil possibly, and pound pairs. Quite a lot, isn't there? Aussie dollar, we are at crucial levels. We've seen this a couple of times over the past year. We've come down to this level, we can see here, in August, October. To break this level, we need some really bad news. Now, I'll go over this in a minute, but I'll just show you that on Tuesday we have some Aussie dollar news. The rate statement coming from the Reserve Bank of Australia. Then later in the week we have some more Aussie dollar news, and then on Thursday I believe we have the retail sales. So this could be make or break for Aussie dollar. If we were to break these levels, it's a long way down to find some support, and it could be really bad for the Aussie dollar. I don't think we're going to be at those levels yet. We often find this on Aussie dollar pairs where we have news early in the week and then later in the week. So news on Tuesday, then more news on Thursday, where we could see an initial break to the downside, just to make it look like we're going to break even lower. But then we could see the bulls come in and push this up. I do not think that we're going to be able to break lower than here. We're looking very bearish right now. We need a retracement. We can see this big push down. We've had a push down, small retracement. Big push down, no retracement. We're definitely going to see a retracement here. From around these levels, we're going to be watching very closely. You can see here we've had a really nice bullish push up. We've pulled all the way back down. So we were looking at possibly coming down for a Fibonacci retracement. We were also looking at possibly coming for the third touch of this trend line, 0.1, 0.2, but we broke through at 0.3. But at times, what you're going to see at some of these pairs is where most people can be looking at taking short trades here, which can very well happen, but I don't believe it will. We have to monitor price action around here. If we start seeing some bullish signs in here at this key level, we're going to see a turnaround. What we can often see here is we can see we're pulling back here, but it's almost like a slingshot. So the more you pull it back, the more you pull it back, and the more you pull it back, once you let go, it's going to start flying. If we get some good news, or we can see a turnaround here this week with Aussie dollar around these levels, we're going to see some consolidation. We're going to see this pair, I think, take off pretty quick as well. I think we can see some upside, and if this does happen and we start seeing a push up to the upside, it's something we're going to sit back and let this trade ride, because I think you can see this pair with the US dollar weakness as well that we're expecting go and push up for a very big trade. So we're looking at hundreds of pips once again. Similar story of Aussie dollar Japanese yen. We've taken our profit on this one now. We're coming down to this level. We've had a big push up here. 61.8% retracement level we're currently at. We've got this last sort of high, the main point on this where we the springboard for this pair. Let me just get rid of this Fibonacci. When we had this initial push up, we pulled back and then we took off, and we've been trending ever since. Now we're coming back down to that level. This would be a crucial level. If we come into this level, this would be a very, very nice level to take a long trade with Aussie dollar, US dollar. So Aussie dollar, I think, can weaken off at the start of the week. Aussie dollar, I think we can weaken off at the start of the week, maybe create new lows here, create new, let's have a look. We could create new, go to a weekly chart, we could create new 10-year lows. There could be some news that we'll see come out saying that Aussie dollar lowest level for 10 years in the media, and then from that level then we'll probably see a swift reversal. So yeah, I think we could break a little bit lower here, but once we come lower, I think we can then see a push up to the upside. Same with Aussie dollar, push down into this level, then a push up higher. Aussie dollar CAD, similar situation at crucial levels. I think this is going to rebound off this sort of double bottom. You can see here double bottom. This is on the weekly, just zooming out big time. You can see here big rejection last time we tapped this level on the weekly. So you can see here we had this sort of level, we broke through, and then we pinged back up, and then we had a nice move to the upside. Now we've got this as support. We could do the same thing as what's happened here. We could break through and then ping back up. This is what we could see on Aussie dollar, Aussie dollar, US dollar as well. You could see a breakthrough, a ping through this level, watch this come down, and then see the rejection. And I think this is going to have a big push up to the upside. You see here on the weekly, we've sort of been in this big, massive weekly range. We might see just a little break to the downside. See this range here, find out weekly support, weekly support, support, broke through resistance, and then we're acting as resistance, pushing down. We're now going to test this bottom of the support. Fake out to the downside, push back up to the upside. And with Aussie dollar, US dollar, or Aussie dollar gaining strength, what can we expect from the New Zealand dollar to also gain strength? So NZD USD had a week last week. From here, I think we can expect to see us start to find some support in this region. We've broken out of this trend line, but it doesn't mean we've broken trend. If we start finding some support here and consolidate through here, once the Aussie dollar news and the New Zealand dollar news that's coming out, let's go, yeah, New Zealand dollar news, sorry, is on Tuesday, unemployment and employment rate, that will see a change on what's going to happen here as well. NZD CAD, so we may see a little drop down. We're going to monitor this, we'll have to see how the news reacts, but I favour the bias to the upside. So we'll let the market start at the start of the week, see how it plays out around these levels, but we'll be looking for long trades. NZD CAD as well could drop down a little bit lower into this sort of 61.8% retracement level. We've broken out of that that sort of range that we've been stuck in for a long time. So the momentum is down with the downside at the moment. But as we reach this 50% and as we reach this 61.8% retracement level, I believe that we can find support here and ping off to the upside. So I'm watching for NZD strength. Now gold is very interesting. Watching this one. Now we know that gold has seen an increase in the bullish move because of the safe haven of last week because of the coronavirus. We're seeing a push up here, push. This was the start of this new downtrend. As I said, just by reading price action, we can see we had this big push up above this level previously. We saw a big push up here, a spike to the upside. We had this big push up, and then from here around the 1600 level, the institutional sort of level, is where the bears came in and the big sell orders came in, and we can see a massive spike, a massive push down. Now we've seen some profit taken again, like what I'm saying with GBP USD, and we've seen some new longs coming into the market, especially with the current safe haven situation. But we've rejected the 61.8% once, we rejected it twice. We're now having a bullish push here. I think this is going to bring in the last few long trades here, and from around these regions. This 78.6% level is one to watch out for. And if you reject this level here, this is the short trade that I've been sort of waiting for and be watching out for, and we're going to be watching from the start of the week. Make sure we don't get caught out by any market gaps and missing out on trades like Euro NZD down here. I'm going to be watching out for this one on gold, and I think gold from here is going to see a big push down, back down to these levels, possibly even more. But we are looking for short trades on gold, and we are going to be looking for long trades on oil. Oil down at these levels, start of the new bearish trend here, pushing all the way down. I now believe we're coming down to the end of this trend. We're going to start seeing the beginning of a new trend. How far that can go, we will have to determine as we start moving. But I do think that we're going to see at least a retracement on this Fibonacci move, at least a retracement up to about the $56.50 level, which is the 38, where then we could go to 50 or 61. So it could even go back all the way back up to $60. Trading around $51, that's about 900 pips. So a big trade on the cards here. Going to be watching this on the lower time frames. We're showing one push to the downside, two, third drive. We're starting to see a little bit of price slowing down, and it's time for this to make a reversal and push up. So we're watching this on very carefully, guys. Oil is on our agenda, gold is on our agenda, and yeah, Aussie dollar trades are going to be what we're watching out for. So there's some big trades coming up, guys. Yeah, there's no more else to really say. Let's get the week started. Follow me closely. Please stick to risk management, guys. Do not mess yourselves up by over leveraging on a trade, on one trade. There's so many good trades, especially with the 1% rule. Remember, if you're more consistent, you can up it to 2% if you're winning most of your trades, but 1% rule is enough. With these trades that we're taking, for example, on oil, if we have 500-600 pips, Aussie dollar, hundreds of pips, GBP USD, small 1% trades, which will give, just like our Aussie dollar Japanese yen trade, where we had like a 10-to-1 risk reward. If we have 3, 4, 5 of those, I mean that's 50% of your account. Just holding these trades, and that's just on some trades. Then we're gonna have intraday trades as well. So please do not over leverage, do not risk, do not ruin your trading year or you ruin the month by doing something silly. Cool, calm, collective as always. Minimum risk. Do not listen to anything else that you see or hear. Anything above that, guys, you're going to get yourself into trouble. I keep saying this. Over leveraging, over risking. Yes, it might be great for 1 or 2 trades and you hit jackpot, you hit a big trade, but then you're going to lose it straight afterwards. The only way to make money in the market is slow and steady. It may be boring, but that's what trading should be. If you're trying to do it for excitement, you're trying to flip accounts, you will not last in this market. And I do not care what you hear or say. Stick to the rules. Stick to your trading plan. Stick to what we do within the community, and you will be profitable. 10% last month. I'm looking to have way more than that this month. Have a great weekend, guys. I hope you like the Sniper Sundays. Yeah, give me some feedback on the Sniper Sundays as always, and to see what you guys like and don't like. And yeah, let's have a great week. We'll be on the button as soon as the market opens. Let's see if there's any gaps or anything like that. Don't think there should be this week, but let's get ready for another great month. I said there's going to be stuff coming next month. We've got webinars and stuff coming out for you guys. So see you. I'll speak to you soon. Have a great evening. Thank you.